From the heart of Europe, a land of poets, thinkers, and engineers has shaped the continent and the world. This is the story of Germany, a journey through empires, conflicts, and incredible resilience. So, grab your pretzels, and let's dive into the complete history of Germany. Our story begins not with a unified nation, but with a patchwork of Germanic tribes. The Romans knew them well, famously clashing with them at the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD. This legendary battle halted Rome's expansion eastward, forever defining the Rhine as a cultural and political boundary. For centuries, these tribes, Franks, Saxons, Bavarians, developed their own identities, laying the groundwork for what was to come. The first major step towards a German identity came with Charlemagne, king of the Franks. Crowned Holy Roman Emperor in the year 800, he united a vast territory encompassing modern-day France and Germany. His empire was a beacon of stability and learning in the Dark Ages. But after his death, his grandsons divided the realm. The eastern part, East Francia, became the seat of the German kingdom. This kingdom evolved into the Holy Roman Empire, a complex and fascinating entity that lasted for nearly 1,000 years. It was less of a centralized state and more of a decentralized confederation of hundreds of duchies, principalities, and free cities, all under the nominal rule of an elected emperor. Think of it like a massive, millennium-long season of Game of Thrones, full of political intrigue, powerful families like the Habsburgs, and shifting alliances. This period saw the rise of magnificent Gothic cathedrals, the founding of universities, and the prosperity of the Hanseatic League, a powerful trading network that dominated the North and Baltic Seas. Then, in the 16th century, a German monk named Martin Luther changed the world forever. His 95 Theses, nailed to a church door in Wittenberg in 1517, challenged the authority of the Catholic Church and sparked the Protestant Reformation. This religious revolution split Germany and Europe, leading to decades of devastating conflict, culminating in the 30 Years' War. This war, fought largely on German soil, was one of the most destructive in European history, wiping out a significant portion of the population. But from its ashes, a new order emerged. The 18th century was the age of enlightenment and the rise of a major new power in the German-speaking world, Prussia. Under leaders like Frederick the Great, Prussia became a formidable military and administrative state, a rival to the long-dominant Austrian Habsburgs. This rivalry, known as German dualism, would define the next century of German politics. It was also a golden age for German culture. Philosophers like Kant, writers like Goethe and Schiller, and composers like Bach and Mozart created masterpieces that are still celebrated today. The French Revolution and the subsequent Napoleonic Wars shook the old German order to its core. Napoleon's conquests dissolved the 1,000-year-old Holy Roman Empire in 1806. While humiliating, his influence also inadvertently sparked a powerful new force, German nationalism. People began to dream of a single, unified German nation. After Napoleon's defeat, the German Confederation was formed, but it was a loose alliance dominated by Austria, frustrating the hopes of nationalists. The desire for unity boiled over in the revolutions of 1848. Across the German states, people demanded liberal reforms and a unified nation. A parliament was convened in Frankfurt to write a constitution for a united Germany. But ultimately, the revolution failed. The old rulers regained control, and the dream was deferred. However, the question of unification wouldn't go away. The man who would finally answer it was not a liberal revolutionary, but a conservative Prussian statesman, Otto von Bismarck. Appointed minister-president of Prussia, Bismarck was a master of realpolitik, a pragmatic and often ruthless approach to politics. He famously declared that the great questions of the day would be decided not by speeches and majority decisions, but by iron and blood. Through a series of 3 brilliant and decisive wars against Denmark, Austria, and finally France, Bismarck skillfully outmaneuvered his rivals. The Franco-Prussian War of 1870–71 was his final masterpiece. The shared victory ignited a wave of nationalist fervor. And so, in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles, on January 18, 1871, the German Empire was proclaimed. The Prussian king, Wilhelm I, was crowned its first emperor or Kaiser, and Bismarck became its first chancellor. The new German Empire was an industrial powerhouse. Its economy boomed, its population grew, and its scientific and technological innovations were world-leading. But this new nation was also born of military victory and carried a strong authoritarian and militaristic streak. Under Kaiser Wilhelm II, who dismissed Bismarck in 1890, Germany pursued an aggressive foreign policy, building a massive navy to challenge Britain and seeking its place in the sun among the colonial powers. This ambition, combined with a complex web of alliances and rising tensions across Europe, set the stage for disaster. In 1914, the assassination of an Austrian archduke lit the fuse, and the continent plunged into the Great War, now known as World War I. Germany, alongside Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, fought the Allied powers in a brutal four-year conflict. The war ended in German defeat, the abdication of the Kaiser, and immense suffering. Out of the ashes of the empire came the Weimar Republic, Germany's first attempt at a full democracy. It was a period of incredible cultural creativity, the era of Bauhaus architecture and Berlin's legendary cabaret scene. But it was also plagued by instability. The harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles, hyperinflation that made money worthless, and deep political divisions between the left and right created a perfect storm of discontent. Into this chaos stepped Adolf Hitler and his Nazi Party. Exploiting public anger and economic despair, particularly after the Great Depression hit in 1929, he promised to restore German greatness. In 1933, Hitler was appointed chancellor. Within months, he dismantled the Democratic Republic and established a brutal totalitarian dictatorship. The Nazi regime unleashed a reign of terror, persecuting and murdering political opponents, ethnic minorities, and especially Jewish people, culminating in the horrific genocide of the Holocaust. Hitler's aggressive expansionist policies, aimed at creating living space for the German people, led directly to the outbreak of World War II in 1939. The war, the deadliest conflict in human history, devastated Europe and ended in 1945 with Germany's total defeat and division. Germany was split into 4 occupation zones controlled by the Allies. The Western zones merged to form the Federal Republic of Germany, or West Germany, a democratic state aligned with the West. The Eastern Soviet zone became the German Democratic Republic, or East Germany, a communist state under Moscow's control. The former capital, Berlin, was itself divided, becoming a flashpoint in the Cold War. In 1961, the East German government built the Berlin Wall to stop its citizens from fleeing to the West. For the next 4 decades, the two Germanys developed on separate paths. West Germany experienced an economic miracle, becoming a prosperous, stable democracy. East Germany stagnated under a repressive regime, but the desire for freedom and unity never died. In 1989, as the Soviet Union weakened, massive peaceful protests erupted across East Germany. On the historic night of November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. The fall of the wall was a moment of pure joy, televised around the world. It paved the way for the reunification of Germany, which was formally completed on October 3, 1990. Today, a reunified Germany stands as a leading nation in Europe and the world. It's a vibrant democracy, an economic powerhouse, and a key player in international affairs. Its journey has been a turbulent one, marked by incredible achievements and catastrophic failures. It's a story of division and unity, of destruction and renewal. From the Germanic tribes to the modern Federal Republic, the history of Germany is a powerful testament to the resilience of a people and the enduring quest for identity in the heart of Europe. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey through German history fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. See you next time.